It was December 1990. I was traveling overseas, and on my flight were 6 Lakota Sioux elders from South Dakota. They told me they were going to Baghdad to pray for peace. Some of their spiritual leaders had dreamed about a cloud of black smoke that would envelope the earth. One of the messengers was Arvel Looking Horse. Although our meeting was brief, Arvel's dedication to peace struck me as courageous and inspiring.
Actually, it was a prophecy among our people that there's going to be a black cloud coming. And the war was being mentioned in Baghdad. They said, we must make that journey.
4 years later, I noticed Arvel's name in a magazine article about the miraculous birth of a white buffalo calf. Many Native people believe the birth of the white buffalo fulfilled an ancient prophecy. I traveled to South Dakota to find out how Arvel was connected to the story. It had been 12 years since I met Arvel, and once again, a war in Iraq was looming on the horizon.
When I'm here, then it makes me feel good, just short time with the land and horses and river and living on this Mar River here. But when I go into ceremony, it's a great pain. It's a great urgency. We are caretakers of Mother Earth, and it's sad that what's happening. It's so hard every day. Makes you want to cry for your relatives. That kind of feeling.
Arvel's story begins 19 generations ago, when a holy woman brought the sacred pipe to the Lakota people. The pipe is so sacred that Arvel asked that it not be filmed.
During a time of great hardship, 2 men went out to hunt. Along the way, they met a beautiful woman dressed in buckskin who floated as she walked. One man had lustful desires for the woman and was consumed by a cloud and turned into a pile of bones. The woman spoke to the second man and said, "Return to your people and tell them to prepare, for I am coming in 4 days." This holy woman brought a bundle to the people. Inside was the Wakan Chinupa, the sacred pipe. With this holy pipe, you will walk like a living prayer. The pipe's bowl is made from red stone. It is the blood of your ancestors and represents the female. The stem of the pipe is made from the tree of life and represents the male. When you put them both together, you connect the world above and the world below. You pray for and with everything. She told them to honor the ceremonies and sacred sites. Each sacred site is an altar to the Great Spirit, she taught. Before she left, she said that her spirit would return to help us in a time of great hardship and that we would recognize her. As she left the people, she rolled over and became a black buffalo, then a red, yellow, and finally a white buffalo. This is where she received her name, White Buffalo Calf Woman. We still have the pipe bundle that she left us 19 generations ago.
For 19 generations, this bundle has been in our family bloodline. I am the 19th generation keeper of the sacred pipe, Chanupa. It's handed on through a dream or a vision. And before a person goes into the spirit world, they hand on to the next one. At the age of 12 years old, I was given that responsibility to be the keeper of the sacred pipe. Today, it's my responsibility to take care of our sacred ceremonies and sacred ways. As a keeper of the sacred bundle, like many other nations, we have sacred sites, sacred ceremonies that we need to protect. because this is the only way we would see peace and harmony in the world, is through our ceremonies and prayers. We can create an energy shift upon Mother Earth.
In 1890, Lakota ceremonies were almost lost forever. The 7th Cavalry surrounded Chief Bigfoot's camp at Wounded Knee and massacred over 300 Lakota men, women, and children. One of the murdered men was Arvel's grandfather. The Lakota prophet Black Elk was at Wounded Knee that day and saw the massacre firsthand.
I did not know then how much was ended. When I look back now from the high hill of my old age, I can still see the butchered women lying heaped and scattered all along the crooked gulch. And I can see that something else died there in the bloody mud and was buried in the blizzard. A people's dream died there. It was a beautiful dream. The nation's hoop is broken and scattered. There is no center any longer, and the sacred tree is dead.
Near the end of his life, Black Elk went into Heesapa, the Black Hills. It's a sacred site known to the Lakota as the heart of all that is. Black Elk climbed to the top of the highest peak and prayed.
Hear me in my sorrow, for I may never call again. Oh, make my people live.
Black Elk had a vision about Wounded Knee. In his vision, he said the sacred tree of life, it would flourish in the 7th generation, 100 years later. 1986, we started our journey, Washigla Woichaku, it's wiping tears ceremony. We journeyed back to Wounded Knee on horseback. It's called mending of the sacred hoop. From day one, it was sub-zero temperatures. The wind chill was like 60 below, and it was so cold. And yet we had to make that journey. And because it was below zero, it was very difficult. But the spirit was so strong that now people are still moving out there just to be part of that journey. Those guys back in 1890, they walked in that snow. Their moccasins were worn out, their feet were bloody. It was difficult. I have to face myself. At times, I shed tears. That's what it would take for us to find peace. Be strong enough to pray for forgiveness. Being on the right to Wounded Knee, you have to forgive. And I pray that there would be no more Wounded Knees throughout the world, because no more are we like individuals. We're all faced with what's happening with the environment, that everything is sick.
In 1990, 100 years after the massacre at Wounded Knee, the sacred hoop of life was mended. The tree of life grew again, and a sign would come to bring the message of peace and forgiveness to the world.
4 years later, this white buffalo calf stood upon Mother Earth. The spirit of this white buffalo, a lot of people dreamt about this, even before it was born. And people in the Sundance or Vision Quest, or people just at home, not dreaming about the white buffalo. And I thought to myself when I was very young, I would never see that day, because the story goes way back to 19 generations. And since 1994, almost every year, a white buffalo calf stood upon Mother Earth. We say that every buffalo calf that was born since 1994 brings us a message. But we say that the positive is there, but the negative would be just as strong. So we have a message here today It's a great urgency that's happening today. It's a blessing to all of us that the signs of these animals, white animals being born, but it's also a warning. We are at the crossroads, either be faced with a lot of disasters, or we can unite spiritually with nations of the world. We need to find that secure path for our children.
The white buffalo woman instructed a small nation to pray and hold ceremonies at sacred sites. 19 generations later, Arvel brought that message to the world and declared every June 21st as World Peace and Prayer Day.
We have only a short time to bring respect and honor back to Mother Earth. This is the message of the sacred white buffalo calf.